Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're testing out the Ignition Controls NA2 EX E6 button box. This picked up a lot of popularity last summer and I wanted to check it out. So we're gonna mount this thing up, see how it performs, and get back to you guys with some final thoughts. All right, when you get your box, it's gonna come with basically just two things. You get your USB cable, and I opted for the 3-meter cable just due to the length of distance between my button box and my computer. And then obviously you get your button box in a plastic bag. This is secured nicely. The packaging seems to be relatively good. Nothing to complain about or talk about here. All right, so now we have our box. It has a standard VESA 100 mounting pattern on the back. Very easy to find a mountable solution for this. I use my SimLab integrated button box mount, so I didn't have any issues there. And overall, it's a very dense and very well put together product. You got your Ignition Controls logo etched into the top. It uses a USB Type A connection on the left-hand side. And that's basically it. Very dense and very solid piece of kit here. All right, guys, so we got the Ignition Controls box mounted up to our SimLab button box holder. Very easy to install. The pattern on the back is a VESA 100. It's only 4 bolts. It'll take you no time. I opted for the longer cable because my PC is very far away from my simulator, and we should be good to go. So let's crank this thing on. And the first thing that you'll probably notice is that these lights right here on the push button encoders are very dull. That is intended. They did that on purpose so it wasn't all bright and in your face at nighttime. The start stop button is a little bit brighter. I actually love this start stop button. It's one of my favorite things of any type of button box I have because I can come into my simulator, press my start button, and everything fires up. It makes it feel like real life. So I love a start stop button, and they do a good job here with this one. The rest of the buttons have a low illumination. They're not very bright, and that is intended because they didn't want it to be all bright in your face. So I actually like that because at night it's just the right amount of illumination and it's not, intrusive to what you're trying to do. So let's talk about these encoders, right? So we have 32 total inputs. 6 of them come by way of rotary encoder. 2 of those encoders have push button functionality. Now the feel on these encoders is a little different on the top and bottom, and it's because of this push button functionality that we just talked about. So these ones on the bottom are very loose. I wouldn't say very, they're kind of loose. They're not super tight. These ones on top are very, very tight. So you have the potential to over rotate these lower ones more so than you do the top ones because obviously they're a little bit looser. So that's a very that's something to note. Like, you don't want to put anything super sensitive on the very light ones. I've had my brake balance and my traction control up here because I don't want to over adjust that. Next thing up is the joystick. So this is not a 7-way funky switch. This is a 4-way joystick. It's just as helpful, especially if you're racing in VR. It's very easy to find with your eyes closed. So you can get to this joystick no problem and cycle through your button box or whatever type of function you want to assign to it. So the next button we'll talk about is this little toggle switch here, and I'm pretty sure that everyone should be using this for your pit limiter. It's very bright and you can see it out of the corner of your eye, so make sure that when you get out of your pit you can just shut this bad boy off. The rest of these toggles are very standard. They're not anything special. And that's it. The box is very good. The finish on this box is excellent. It's black anodized. It matches the SimLab P1 Black Series perfectly. It looks very, very at home on this sim rig. So like I mentioned before, I drove this at nighttime. I drove it during the day. The push button functionality feels great. The one thing I would change if I was to buy this box again would be I would select a different push button encoder because these ones have that feel on when you push it in, it feels like it's going to stay in a lower position, but it actually comes back out to the full position. So keep that in mind for when you're using this. I don't think I would order this push button again just because of the way it feels. It kind of deceives your mind. So that's the entirety of this button box. I did have a little problem with this button up here. It doesn't seem to be acting up right now, but I lost illumination in this one button here. But outside of that, this box has been absolutely flawless. It's one of my favorite pieces of the rig. I'm probably not going to keep it, obviously, because I have my Porsche box, but I would recommend this to anyone looking for a button box because the functionality and the feel and fit and finish is perfect. So one thing I want to note about this box is that I am not going to be selling this box. I'm going to give it away on my channel. So if you're a subscriber to the GT Greg channel, you're already entered. So once we cross over the 1,000 mark, I'm going to do a random drawing. We'll probably do it live on Twitch or live on YouTube, and then the winner will be announced. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you also for the subs. Getting to 1,000 is not in the plan, and now we're here. So now the next goal is going to be 5,000, and we'll probably do a bigger giveaway for that. So stay tuned in. We're going to get back to racing at some point, hopefully in the near future. I'm really liking the McLaren GT4, and maybe we'll test that out. So thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you next time.